Wow, 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 wow. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're feeling a little crazy today. So, this is going to be the start of lots of action right here from KBS HQ. We're going to make a day and a night of it. So, buckle in, folks. We are in for the long haul. Yes, indeed. So great to be back with all of you, and so great to see all of you out there. And I'll be back with you in just a moment after our fabulous musical playlist. Yes, indeed.
Genetic engineering of genetic engineering.
How dare you!
Come on, man.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. We're back. We're live. Absolutely fantastic to be with you this 9th day of June in the year of 2021. And it's going to be a very spectacular day right here for KBS because we've got our pre-show stream. Oh, yes, indeed. We are going to be joined by the world's most controversial neuroscientist on the main show today, Dr. McCairn, the most based neuroscientist in the world. He's locked, he's loaded, he's got his crossbow ready, and he's ready to take on the princelings out there and get into the jiggery with me on the main show today. And if that wasn't enough, no threats, no empty promises. We're doing it. We're going KBS. No sleep. Yes, indeed. We'll be delving into the strange and wonderful content that r/no sleep contains over on Reddit for some really, really ghostly and ghastly and dastardly ghost-like stories for bedtime. And that will come a couple of hours after the main KBS finishes. Not one, not two, but three things for you to look forward to today. I am up in the game because in recent weeks I have been slacking. And I know that. I'm my own worst critic, and I know I've been slacking, but I've been kind of taking time out to keep my strength up, to get ready for what lies ahead on our magical mystery tour into the future. Nobody knows what it holds. I do know for sure there's a couple of bumps along the way. So, yes, I have been taking a little bit more time off. I have been unplugging myself a little bit more from the digital realm as well. It's something I often encourage all of you to do. So I thought I better practice what I preach. And it brings with it a certain refocusing, a clarity to what you're looking at. So I am back full speed ahead, or as we say on here on KBS, a full stream ahead. Now, down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, a big shout out. In fact, I think I might even be able to get some sound effects here if memory serves me correctly. Yes, a big Jocelyn was first in the chat today, and I lost it. The chat room went a bit wonky, right? But Jocelyn had said really something quite wonderful. And sometimes I often talk about how you can change somebody's world just by being nice to them. And Jocelyn had said how it makes her day when we go live here. Now, that might seem like nothing, just a throwaway comment. But I can tell you that absolutely made my day. And that's the kind of thing that reminds me why I keep coming back for more. I feed off you guys as much as you feed off the content I provide you. It's a symbiotic relationship. So, with that in mind, I want to thank everyone for being here today. And a big pat on the back to all of you who were on the stream just the other day. Because one of our good friends, probably in the chat room right now, Karen, one of the gherkins, I hope she's in here, but she was having a bit of a bad day. And we done what we do on KBS and we sent our positive vibes, call it prayer, call it frequency, call it energy. And today she explained what had been happening with her. And I asked Karen if it would be okay if I shared a little story with you, the audience, and to thank you all for sending love and positive vibes over to Karen and her husband because their dog, Zach, was very poorly sick at the time. If I just bring this picture up here and I come over here, I'll be able to get the little message that I received. It says, Kev, we just wanted to thank everyone on Sunday for their positive vibes. Our Zach was diagnosed with skin cancer on his snout and we weren't sure if it had spread elsewhere. Now, luckily, it's been caught in time. I had his op today and I have a chunk of his snout removed. They had to do some reconstructive surgery to the nose. He now has a crooked nose. And when he woke up, he was screaming in the vets. Apparently, he was having hallucinations from the morphine. And I stood in a corner and cried my eyes out. And Andy was the strong one. But just wanted to say thanks for all the positive vibes. And Zach is 11 years old. And I just think that's a really heartwarming story. I want to thank all of you on behalf of the Gherkins for sending those intentions, that love, those vibes over there. They were definitely received. And another picture that we received from one of our very good friends today was Jules. And this is a bit of a weird one. This is a really weird one because Jules had something happen to her through the night. And scratch-like marks have appeared on her arm. Again, I've asked Jules if it's okay to show this. She is perfectly fine with that. If I bring this up here, as you can see, we've got a number of scratches or welts or what are we looking at? Because we've got one at the top here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is that something of a 6? If it is, the only thing I know with 6 fingers is a Nephilim and a giant. And what Jules said was this is under the skin, as opposed to maybe rolling around and getting a feather kind of cutting you. Have a feather cutting you, and those parallel lines is a bit of a stretch even for my skeptical debunking type mind at times. It's a weird one, right? It's a weird one. So I think we send some positive vibes to Jules right now with that in mind. So let me come into the chat room. And my chat room was acting wonky when YouTube started today. I don't know how it is for all of you out there, but even when I went to go live, came up with a message saying live stream not available right now, but I could see myself streaming in the background. So fingers crossed we're not going through one of these system updates at YouTube HQ, the dreaded retraining of the algorithm. That brings with it lots of joy, not for content creators though, trust me. But anyway, anywho, okay. We have got ZX in the chat room. Jocelyn was number 1, as you can see down the bottom hand corner here. And we have got Pollination all the way from Canada. Good to see you again, Orange Head, aka Polly Fruid. We have also got the Cine Monk in there. Shalom, my homies. Big shalom to you. I don't know why I salute. That's a thing I've caught myself doing a couple of times. In fact, I've been doing it for years. And it's not even a UK salute. UK salute is very much like that. That kind of thing. That's your American thing. And I'm an American, as you can, I would hope, tell. So yes, I digress as usual. And you're probably thinking, Kev, we're talking about billionaires in space today. Well, we kick back, we chillax, we take things a kind of easy, ozy pace over here. And I love to give the shout out to the audience. Yes, indeed. You're only as good as your audience, folks. And boy, oh boy, are you good. So we have got Skipper Key Philo. Shawnee, good to see you, Shawnee. Jocelyn again, ZX. Nothing as it seems, unplugged and unhinged. Yes, indeed. Unscripted, unplugged, unhinged. Sometimes incomprehensible, but always, always original. I like to think I'm original anyway. I like to think that. We have also got kicking about in here. There she is. There's Karen, one half of the Gherkins. Good stuff. Great to see you, Karen. And Malaya, the Wookiee. Yes, indeed. And Malaya says, Karen, so glad your pretty puppy is getting better. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you. All your thoughts were so gratefully received. And that's what we're all about on here. And there is Marty. Marty. Now, for Marty, we've got a sound effect. I need to find it, though. I know it's really kind of crap when I have to go and look for it like this, but I'll get it sussed where they all are.
Generating and jittering.
Yes, that's for you, Marty, because I often see you over on the Jiggering and Jiggering stream with my good friend, the most controversial neuroscientist on the world, Dr. Kevin W. McCairn. And he will be with me today in approximately 75 minutes' time. Yes, indeed. And coming up next Thursday, if you're in the UK or the US, and next Friday morning, if you're in Australia, we're going to be joined by the guys from our alien ancestry. Yes, indeed. Evan and Stephen Strong will be back on the broadcast on Thursday the 17th or Friday the 18th if you're in Australia. And it's 7 a.m. in Australia. It's a really early start. So I apologise for that. But the guys are really keen to come back on, which makes my day. On top of Jocelyn making my day as well. It's a good day. That's why we're getting 3 streams today. This stream's happening here. You'll be able to catch me on tfrlive.com, or Kevin McCairn will be streaming on his channel. And then a couple hours after that, I'll be back here to scare you all. Yes, I'm going to actively try to scare you all with some of the weird, the wonderful, the wacky content that comes from Reddit's No Sleep section. Ghost stories, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. We'll be getting into that later on, but we are about to blast off into space, only we're not. We're not, because yesterday I was here to talk to you about Bezos in space. Yes, and how I was convinced that space Bezos might actually be a condition that astronauts get after sticking their junk where it shouldn't be, when they're up on that Mars base Alpha that Robert David Steele was LARPing about. But I'm back again today, not with Bezos, not with Musk, but with a billionaire that I actually... Well, actually, I like Musk. I can't deny I like Musk. But there's another billionaire out there, another billionaire spaceman, who I've always kind of admired, and it's Richard Branson. Yes, indeed. Now, why have I admired him? Because he started out from very humble beginnings. And I don't envy people. Well, I do. I am somewhat envious of their bank accounts, but we should never just hate on people because they're successful. That should be the model for us all, right? Doesn't happen to us all, admittedly. But Branson is the guy that provides me with the lightning speed broadband that allows me to come to you in full 1080 HP. He's got the whole Virgin Media thing going on. I don't know how active he is in that anymore, but he is now throwing his hat into the I want to beat Jeff Bezos into space race. What is it with these billionaires, folks? Now, granted, it's not like they're firing off into space and not coming back. Well, at least not that we know of. They say they plan to come back, or are they literally blasting off because they know something we don't? Now, I don't honestly think that. Oh, Jennifer, member. Now, it might be a renewal because it said ×2. So if that's the case, because I'm wondering why it hasn't come up in the chat. But I'm thinking the chat might be a bit goofed anyway, because YouTube's been acting a bit goofed in the past hour or so. So listen, we can speculate until the sun sets on Speculation Island as to if there's any ulterior, nefarious motives to these guys blasting off the rock. But it is what it is. We know that these people have been into the whole rocket / space race for some time. And they've got obviously nothing better to do than literally set fire to money in the advancement of putting themselves out of Earth's orbit and into space. So Branson, Virgin Galactic's Branson, aims to fly to space before Bezos. It'd be funny if we could have like some kind of reality show where they're racing each other. Oh, can you imagine it? So then, it says here, 4th of July weekend could include some extra fireworks this year. It's a statement from Virgin Galactic by Douglas Messier, managing director. It looks like Richard Branson could beat fellow billionaire Jeff Bezos to space next month. Virgin Galactic is working on a plan to send Branson on a suborbital flight aboard the VSS Unity Spaceship 2 rocket plane over the July 4th holiday weekend, according to a source who requested anonymity. Now, the flight is contingent upon obtaining an operator's license from the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration. So Branson's flight would take place about 2 weeks before Bezos, his brother Mark, and the winner of an online auction are scheduled to board Blue Origin's New Shepard vehicle for a suborbital flight on July 20th. It will be the first crewed flight of New Shepard, which has flown 15 times with no one on board. And again, I still think it takes a certain set of Bezos to climb onto what is literally just a super advanced Roman candle and hoping it's going to take you into space and get home again. I do have an admiration for that. I can't deny it. So we are in the process of analysing the data from our successful May 22nd flight. As previously announced, we expect to complete a final test flights this summer through to early fall. At this time, we have not determined the date of our next flight. An objective from the last flight was to collect data to be used for the final 2 verification reports that are required as part of the current FAA commercial reusable spacecraft operator's license. That comes from a Virgin Galactic spokesman. Can you say that anymore? Probably need to say spokesperson in Woketopia. I wouldn't want to run the risk of angering any wokelings out there, you know? So I'll say spokesperson, will I hell? Spokesman and proud of it. Said in a statement released on Tuesday. The source said Virgin Galactic formulated the plan as a response to Blue Origin's May 5th announcement of the July 20th flight. Virgin Galactic's planning started prior to Blue Origin announcement on Monday that Jeff and Mark Bezos would join the auction winner on the flight. Well, I mean, imagine if they'd just done that, like done an auction, and the person who won it, right? on you go. Bye, Joe. Bye, Joe Schmuckamole. You get on there. We'll monitor the flight, dude. You can tell us how it goes up there. We'll get you home. Honestly, nothing will go wrong. We've done this 15 times. 15 times already, and it's okay. Why ain't you coming, Jeff? No, don't worry about me not coming. You see why I've got the admiration for the kahunas now, you see. So, it says here that Blue Origin's May 5th announcement kicked off a 5-week auction for the open seat on the flight that is set to conclude with live bidding on Saturday, June the 12th. I think we should stream that. I think we should actually stream the live bid and see how high it goes. The current high bid is $3.5 million. Yet another person with so much money, they literally want to gamble their life on burning it away. So before it can fly, Branson, Virgin Galactic, must obtain a commercial reusable space operator's license from the FAA. Is there anything that you don't have to obtain a license for? I'm telling you, you'll soon have to get a license to go to the toilet, right? Oh, you'll be holding it in there. I can't go, I've got the right license, need the paperwork. Yeah, and then you'll phone up for the paperwork and you'll get put on one of those crazy, like, stupid elevator music waiting lists. And some AI will come on and tell you, you're number 67 in the list. Oh, really? I've got number 67 and I'm having to hold on to number 2 and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. I know, I'm mad. The license would allow Virgin Galactic to fly its Billionaire founder as the company's first space flight participant. Now, under its current launch license, Virgin Galactic is limited to flying employees as test subjects on non-commercial basis. Now, is he going himself? And isn't that, imagine that in your contract when you sign up to work for Virgin Galactic. You hereby give us the right to use you as a test subject on any one of our intergalactic missions. Now, I know they're not going intergalactic, folks, but it's for shtick purposes, right? So it says Virgin Galactic, which bills itself as the world's first space line, has submitted the final 2 verification reports required for the operator's license. Who writes that license? It's like, who's the world authority on verification for spaceflight forms? Who is it? Buzz Aldrin? Be cool if it's Buzz Aldrin. You have to go in and see Buzz. I tell you, Buzz would take some impressing. Yeah, it doesn't like your plan, bonk. Buzz, I'm telling you, man, don't mess with Buzz. So engineers obtained it. Right, this is getting blah blah blah, blah blah. I want to come into the audience, right? I want to come into the audience because we're going to make this very interactive today. Very interactive indeed. What do you think, folks? What's going on here? What's going on with all these billionaires going into space? Going to come back up. Talking of neuroscience, did you hear Sam Harris's comment on the state of play regarding UAP disclosure? No, I did not, Shawnee. No, I didn't. Back in the 70s, he was a mere music publisher. Does Mr. Branson have a white cat and work for Spectre, says Hatchie Hatchie. The world is going James Bond. He lives on an island. He needs a seaplane to get to it. Oh dear. The man with the golden gun. I'm telling you, dude, he might well. He would, wouldn't he? Let's go back and take a look at him. I honestly think Bezos would make a better bad guy though, right? Bezos, space. I mean, this is one strange looking gentleman. Look, I am as ugly as the day is long, but that entitles me to call out another ugly man when I see one. That's like a strange looking dude. He looks like, but he looks like a sperm. I'm just saying, if you stuck his head on the top of that rocket, you might think you're looking at a male reproductive kind of swimmer. I'm just saying. They're firing themselves into space to impregnate the moon. Are Bezos and the moon gonna have a baby? Oh man. We could probably make a series of videos about that. A bet you somebody would believe it. Probably somebody in the chat room right now thinking, I could believe that. Why not? Why not? At this point, he's a reptilian, says Beck. Beck, it's great to see you again as well. Haven't seen you around for a while. I'm as happy you made the pre-show as you're as happy you made it. There you go. Wonder if all these companies are buying all the components from Lockheed or China. What a great point. What a great point. NIMH. Nice one. Nice one. I like it. Marty says, going to lurk mode. Need to rest for a bit. Absolutely. We've got a long day ahead, Marty. A long day. We're here, then we're over with McCairn, and then we're coming back here, and we're going to do some
KBS After Dark.
Yes, indeed. We're going to delve into the world of the no sleep content over on Reddit. Hey, it's going to be something different, something fun. And listen, we get extra time together, right? Bet, big shout out to Bet just coming into the chat room now. Absolutely. So listen, whether it's Bezos, whether it's Bozo the Clown, whether it's Richard Branson or Elon Musk, hey, let them have at it. If they've got enough money to start wasting to blast themselves off into space, we know Musk has got bigger plans afoot. Not quite ready to head off for Mars, but we know that's his endgame. At least that's what he says it is. And every time I hear him talking, and again, ZX had shared a video today from Amplex. Big shout out to Amplex on YouTube. Check them out. They had posted a new video with Musk again, sounding a very stern and serious warning about what he sees as a major threat to all of us, and that is super advanced AI. I'm not talking about the one that auto-fills out your sentences or maybe tells you you've got a spelling error here or there. No, nothing like that. The real deal. It's one of the few times that you really, I don't know. It is what it is, folks. We're not there yet, I don't think. But what they've got behind closed doors when it comes to that stuff, who knows? I think a lot of the time maybe it is exaggerated how good it is. But the potential is certainly there for it to go crazily, weirdly Terminator wrong, as we all know. So look at, and no doom pills today from me. Unfortunately, I don't have a rocket for us to get off our own rock. But I think our rock's doing just fine. Okay? If we start to respect our rock a little bit more, yes, sure, it's going to be great to get other people going and inhabiting other rocks like Mars. But first and foremost, let's look after our own little rock right here. So, talking of space and weirdness, sometimes, again, I've said this before, but sometimes I come across headlines that just make me go, what am I looking at? What on earth kind of glitch in the matrix have we found here? Now, if I come over here and show you this, there's a headline. And I'll just let you see it for yourself there. The New York Times writes a bogus claim. So the New York Times has wrote a bogus article about watermelons found on Mars. What? I know. Now this came out yesterday, 5:21 p.m. Updated. Kate Sheehy is the author. Fair use. We're going to have a look at this because I think when there's mainstream news publications writing about watermelons on Mars, I think that's newsworthy. I think we're allowed to comment on that. Add my own unique commentary and shtick to it and ask you out there, what the hell is going on? Who had watermelons on Mars on one of their 2021 bingo card picks? Did you? I don't lie. Nobody had watermelons on Mars. Okay. But it turns out there aren't watermelons on Mars anyway. That pesky
fake news.
So space cadets at the New York Times published a wacky online article. Now I would love to show you. Oh, it's actually letting me see it this time. There we go. Yeah, they've had to send me to the archive because you have to, it's a subscription thing to see the New York Times. But it says here, fields of watermelons found on Mars, police say. Authorities say rise of fruit aliens is to blame for glut of outer space watermelons. And this is written by, get this, Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo wrote this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the original article. It says the FBI declined to comment on reports that watermelons raining down, but confirmed that kiwis have been intercepted. The story is terribly boring. So if we come back here, it says, quote, fields of watermelons found on Mars, police say, according to the bizarre, now deleted blurb, which was written under the byline of Joe Schmo. Now, authorities say rise of fruit aliens is to blame for the glut of outer space watermelons, the cookie snippet continued. Does this sound like an AI written article to you? It does to me. Just saying, the FBI declined to comment on reports of watermelons raining down, but confirmed that kiwis, not New Zealanders, please, I'm not, listen, I don't want those wokelings coming after me. I'm not picking on kiwis. Kiwi fruit. Yes, have been intercepted. The story is terribly boring, the Shore added before a final line underneath. Watermelon tastes good, police say. The posting, which was part of an online internal test by the Times, went up at 2:19 p.m. and was yanked down within the hour, Futurism said. Are the New York Times about to unleash an algorithm that's going to write news articles, ladies and gentlemen? I think so. The New York Times confirmed FBI had no information in regards to watermelons on Mars. So it says that it was replaced with a notice saying this article was published in error. At Times spokeswoman, or a Times spokeswoman, later told the Post in an email, quote, earlier today, a mock article intended for system testing. Testing for a testing system even. The dyslexia kicked in good there. It actually swapped those words around, folks. Was published on our site in error. The article has since been removed. That's definitely one you just file under glitch in the Matrix or New York Times about to actively deploy some of those super secret, extra intelligent AI. And listen, if that's the best it can come up with, watermelons on Mars, then what on earth is Elon Musk worried about? Because come on, man. It's hardly a genius, right? Oh. Hang, we'll leave this on. This is good watermelon music. Even I can't keep a straight face with music like that, folks. Come on, man. What's that all about? That was one I downloaded. I had downloaded that in preparation for Joe Joseph coming back, and I was going to talk about North Kakalaki and play him some music. There's my excuse, okay? That's my... You can accept it, or you can think, Kev just made that totally up on the spot to try and justify the fact he has got some crazy, wacky barn-type music. Barn dance music kicking around in the background there. Yes, indeed. The things me and Anne get up to in our spare time. The mind boggles, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, you've heard me talking about my love affair with the octopus, right? Right? You know how I'm a very, very staunch supporter, fan, lover of all things octopi. Well, the ocean in general kind of mystifies me. It is literally an alien world, right? It is. It's totally alien from ours. And when you get down there, some of the things that you find and some of the things that you see, we've looked at some of these weird things before, right? I mean, it's crazy some of the shapes and sizes and forms that things take, depending on the depth and where in the world you find them. But there's also something else about the ocean that we've talked about before. Myself and Scotty have talked about it. I think me and Ben Emlyn Jones have done a show on it, or at least a segment on it. And that is the Megalodon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the mighty Megalodon. And get this, because Megalodons may have grown up to 20 meters long. Now, I come in at not a kick in the arse over 1 meter tall. Now, I'm a bit more than 1 meter, guys. Come on. Come on. I'm like bigger than a meter stick, but not by far. Not by far. I'm thinking 20 of these long. That is gargantuan. Can you imagine these things out there? And do you think, in a very deep part of one of the oceans out there, do we still have creatures of this size? Do we? So it says here a new study has indicated that the largest shark that ever lived may have been even bigger than we thought. Breaking news, nothing interesting. If you would like to support the stream, though, please consider the PayPal link in the description, which will make a very similar noise on my phone, but not necessary. Please don't feel obliged. It says here, sporting several rows of deadly serrated teeth up to 5 inches long. This prehistoric behemoth, which lived up until around 2.6 million years ago, not that long ago though, in cosmic kind of time, made the great white shark, which is less than a third of its size, look like a minnow. That is, when you think about the great white on itself, like standing alone, that's a pretty impressive machine. And then you start to think it's only a third of the size of one of these things. So, up until recently, these enormous sharks were thought to grow up to 18 meters in length. However, a new method for calculating its size from the width of its teeth has now upped that figure to 20 meters. The technique was pioneered by paleontologist Victor Perez. What makes one man so fascinated with the teeth of dinosaurs? Well, probably the fact he can get published for being the dude. He'll be remembered as the dude that measured the megalodon, right? Okay, I get it. I get it, Victor. And he works at the Calvert Marine Museum in French. Le Français Amateur Paléontologie. Fred Badeau, who devised a new equation based on the idea that since a megalodon tooth is limited by the size of le jaw, and the size of le jaw is proportional to the length of le body, it should be possible to use the size of the tooth to estimate the length of le body. You see, who says I'm not fluent in French? Eh? You like that, Anne? You like that? You see that? You liked that, didn't you? Come on, Anne. Anne knows I'm good at French. She remembers my chat up line from back in the day, don't you, Annie? Don't you? I wooed her over a pint of Guinness in an Irish pub with some French chat up lines and some really cheesy Irish music. But it worked, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, all these years later. We've added to Team Humanity in the form of Big Kevin. Yes, indeed. 1-0 for the family versus the Wokelins out there. Guys, I digress. Okay, I digress. So, and Dave doesn't speak French, so Dave's in the building now. Hold on tight. Dave has taken over. Quote, I was quite surprised. I should really have waited till it was quoting the dude till I used the broken French. I was really quite surprised that indeed no one had thought of this before, said paleontologist Ronnie Mayek, leader of the Natural History Museum in Germany. So listen, how many paleontologists, this should be a joke, right? How many paleontologists does it take to measure a megalodon? A bloody lot by the sounds of it. It's like international collaboration going on here that you don't see in the world of politics and things. This is cracking. I love it. All these people on Zoom calls measuring megalodon teeth. Like a megalodon tooth competition. My megalodon tooth's bigger than yours. But it's not as big as mine. Le petit megalodon. No, too far, probably. Anywho, moving on, but not moving on too far, because you see how you get like dolphins and bats and whales who use like almost sonar, echolocation. What if I was to tell you, and look, I'll get up some whale sounds. Hang on, we need some whale sounds for this. Funnily enough, my soundboard doesn't come with whale sounds, but I think I'll get you covered. I think. Here we go. Let's see. So yeah, like the sounds of the whales, right? Echolocation. What if I was to tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What if I was to tell you, you could learn, you with your mouth, teeth, tongue, ears, the whole works, right? What you come with in your head, typically as a human, you can teach yourself echolocation in a number of weeks. Now listen, I have got no idea what practical use this may have, but I tell you what, it gets pretty hysterical when you think about masses of people starting to use echolocation when you're out in the street. You'll hear all this, you'll hear people like they're going into some new age kind of trance state. It's going to be pretty weird, it's going to be pretty wacky, but I'm not even lying. I'm not lying. You use clicks and clacks and things like that, and over here you will see, and I'm going to leave them on in the background, there's something almost spiritual about the noises of the whales, right? But humans can learn how to echolocate in just 10 weeks. So imagine you became a dual expert, right, in echolocation and remote viewing. Would you be able to send echoes back from your location to now so we could all feel them and see them? That's the question. Is this interdimensional communication? Are we about to crack the code, ladies and gents? So with enough training, most humans, very, very, very important there, most humans, not all, but most humans can learn how to echolocate, using their tongue to make clicking noises and interpreting the sounds of the echoes that come back, reflected from the surrounding environment. Oh, Anne's over there. Kevin's over there. I've got... See, it works, folks. In as few as 10 weeks, researchers were able to teach participants how to navigate obstacles and recognize the size and orientation of objects using the rebounding calls of their clicks. I said clicks, ladies and gentlemen. The experiment involved 12 participants, so 12 people out of a planet of 7.5 billion. It might just be limited to quite a few, I think, who'd been diagnosed as legally blind during their childhood, and 14 sighted people. Echolocation is a skill that we usually associate with animals such as bats and whales, but some blind humans also use echoes of their own sounds to detect obstacles and their outlines. That's bloody fascinating. Some use the tapping of a cane or the snapping of their fingers to make the necessary noise, while others use their mouths to make the clicking sound. Despite how useful this skill can be, very few blind people are currently taught how to do it. Expert echolocators have been trying to spread the word for years now, this new study suggests a simple training schedule is all that's needed. Now, do you have to go and live underwater for 10 weeks? It hasn't made this clear yet. I'm hoping not. I cannot think of any other work with blind participants that has had such enthusiastic feedback, says psychologist Laura Thaler of the Durham University in the UK. Over the course of 20 training sessions, which were about 2 to 3 hours long, researchers found that blind and sighted participants, both old and young, all improved considerably at click-based echolocation. Actually, if you listen to that too long, it might make you want the toilet. Actually goes with my background puddles, right? So for weeks, participants were trained to navigate virtual mazes, corridors arranged in T-intersections, U-bends and zigzags. and identify the size and orientation of objects using mouth clicks. In the final 2 sessions, participants had their new navigation skills tested in a virtual maze that they'd never tackled before. Even while blinded in this unknown environment, collisions were fewer than they had been at the start of the program. So clearly, the echoes of their own clicks were helping people navigate the course with greater ease than before. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing there, but very interesting, right? I thought it was pretty interesting. And then to round off today's crazy little pre-show stream where we all get together, we chillax, we kick back. Got a little bit of funny woo to get into next, but I'm going to get a quick drink of coffee. Anne's just in from work as I echolocated over my shoulder moments ago. See how I done that? Pretty good, eh? It works, ladies and gentlemen. She's even... Yep, she's behind me. I don't know if I'll be able to use it quickly enough to get a shoe coming in. That's the only thing. I'd have to constantly be sitting there doing that. Bit impractical. So listen, I'm going to shove some tunes on. It's not going to be the wacky barn music. I'm sorry, folks. I know a lot of you insist on that coming back, but not today. No, we're going to get into the wah 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 wah, because that's kind of chilled. It's kind of relaxed, and we've done something with Loch Ness. We've done even more craziness to it. It's even more like the Upside Down now, right? And don't worry, folks. Don't worry. I've got you covered. We're not going to listen to wacky whale noises for the rest of the day. No, 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 no.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yes, indeed. And Jason says, really interesting. At school, we had a blind judo instructor. Nobody could take him down. That's pretty interesting. And conversations with Nacy as well. Obviously, Nacy himself blind. He talks about how his hearing, other senses, are heightened. And it's really hard, I suppose, for somebody who is sighted to really appreciate what that must be like. Hearing how the world looks around you. It's even hard to put that sentence together because it almost doesn't make sense, but hearing the world around you to enable you to see it. Hearing is seeing. It's really, it's pretty cool stuff. But again, we can add it onto our pile of news and woo for today. And we've had watermelons on Mars, and now, ladies and gentlemen, what if I was to tell you There's a captured Sasquatch getting transported through Colorado as we speak. Yes, indeed. So if you're in Colorado, I want you to get out there and I want you to hypothetically accost this man. He's got a Sasquatch inside. We want to see the Sasquatch. We want to see it. So it says here a Bigfoot being transported from Ohio to Colorado managed to attract a fair amount of attention. And instead of just me reading it out, let's take a little look at this here. Fair use, fair use. It's Bigfoot alert. Come on, newsworthy.
One of the quirkiest things here in Colorado.
Okay, now we really need to turn off the whales because that could get really weird and wacky. It might sound like that man is broadcasting from an aquarium. And that wasn't the desired effect we were looking for at all. Where is it? There we are. There we are. We'll put him back to the start. We'll give him a fair crack at it.
Well, the Sasquatch post in Bailey, one of the quirkiest things here in Colorado, and owners are on a mission to bring him back to our...
How does he make Sasquatch sound camp, by the way? Really quirky. What's that all about?
Well, the Sasquatch post in Bailey, one of the quirkiest things here in Colorado, and owners are on a mission to bring him back to our state. The 7'3" beast and his buddy are mechanical. These lifelike figures were made in Ohio.
Lies. This is fake news. This is a cover story for the transportation of a live kicking
Sasquatch. A trip
Sasquatch.
back to the museum in Bailey. Truck had big crates marked "Caution, Captured Sasquatch." So
I sent out my team of fact checkers, ladies and gentlemen, and they all came back. And who's my fact checkers? They're anonymous sources, and you just have to take their word for it. But they assured me that inside said crate is no replica of the big beast. No, it's a live Wookiee. They've actually caught the Sasquatch. There you go. There you go. Yeah, owners of the Sasquatch, indeed. Indeed, imagine thinking you could keep one of these as a pet. Yeah, as an Albuquerque. Oh, boom, boom. Oh, ZX, man. Come on, dude. That was, I don't know, man. That was pretty grim. That's all I'm going to say. Have we got any, where's the round of applause for that? That was a good one, ZX. That was a good one. Definitely a good one. In fact, we might even have a bit of this. Exactly. I couldn't have laughed it better myself, right? There you go. So let's come into the chat. We're kicking back. We're chilling out. Hey, and let me tell you, Bravo 20, this is 0, over. We have made contact with Major McCairn. He has teamed up with Major General Bakshi. Jiggering of virus. Yes, and we are locked. We have established comms. We'll be over on Kevin's channel in about half an hour's time. Yes, indeed. My boy likes to make fun of me because I make no secret of the fact that the craziest neuroscientist in the world, sorry, my good friend Dr. McCairn, he is my guilty pleasure on YouTube. So many hours of my life have been whiled away in recent times, listening and watching and digesting not only the information, but the infotainment that you find over on, well, arguably the world's most misogynistic neuroscientist. And that's not according to just any old troll. No, it's according to Nature publication. So we'll be finding out about all of that very, very soon. Jenny's in the chat room. Jenny's another person who I see often over on Dr. McCairn's channel. So I'm looking forward to getting into a bit of that. And we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that without going to my favourite Major General in the world.
I have
Bakshi.
missed my KBS family. Thank you all for the assistance on Discord. PPP and happy hump day.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very, very much, Becky. And I'm glad we've got you over on Discord. And listen, there's no, it's not any super secret sauce over there. If you want to get into Discord, my good buddy ZX, he will hopefully keep you right and point you in the right direction, give you a link that you need. And you can watch all the shows. Everything we do happens over in Disco as well. We've got a nice little community over there. So you're all more than welcome. One rule, don't be the captain of the douche canoe. and everything will go fine. We tend to leave our politics and our belief systems at the door as well. We dump them before we go into disco. And it's just a free for all crazy. It's where you can express yourself. It's where you can let your inner KBSer out, you know? And you get to see me, warts and all, swearing, all sorts. It's like the full experience. What can I say? What can I say? So, yes, Jiggery and Jiggery, where did he go? Where did my Jiggery and Jiggery go? Who took my Jiggery away? Come on now.
Genetic engineering.
Yes, indeed. We will be over there in 32 minutes. So let me come into the chat room. Let's see what people are saying in there. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up. Sam, good to see you. Jake, good to see you as well. Jake says, I like it. Mars atmosphere got destroyed by watermelons and too many elastic bands. Yep. And space goat farts. I think space goat farts are in there as well. And I think I've got a space goat fart sound. That might sound really weird, but I think I do. Hang on now. Hang on. Bear with me, folks. You think I'm lying, but I'm not. There's one. That's definitely not a space fart, that one. If you can fart and it sounds like that, that's actually really, really talented. There's probably a big future for you on TikTok or something like that. There it is. That's the space goat noise. That's what happens when you feed the space goat too much Brussels sprouts. Or would they be Martian sprouts? Boom, boom. Terrible, I know. I know. There's nothing quite like, in fact, the only thing akin to your son kind of expressing his disjoy at his father's humour. It's like a really massive, like, watermelon to the Jeff Bezos, right? Isn't it? You know, you still want to be that hero that your son looked up to. I remember when he used to laugh at every joke I told. Every joke, even jokes that I wouldn't have laughed at, but the wee man, his dad was still his hero then. Not anymore. Since you can see down on the top of my head, it's all gone. It's all gone. It's a changed world. The dynamic's changed in here now, ladies and gentlemen. The dynamic has changed. You see what I'm saying? See, people are laughing. If I can make people laugh, then that's a job well done. Because there's not enough laughing getting done in the world today. That's all I can say. It sounds kind of philosophical and deep, and like I've been really thinking about that all day. Take a really pregnant pause with my coffee now. Shove my pipe to smoke on too. My pipe before I pontificate. Lost the plot. If you ever see me looking over here to the side, you do realise I'm trying to take inspiration from one of our greats. Yes, it's an alien that I look to see if things are going well. I'm probably one of the least sane YouTubers on the planet. 44 years and I'm sat in the corner of my living room talking to aliens and making space fart noises. If somebody had said to me back in the day, Kev, some point in the future you'll be talking to a room of about, 40 odd people, and you'll be trying to entertain them with the noise that a space goat, which doesn't exist in the first place, and a spider space goat, that when it farts. A totally constructed fictional noise for a loose thought of my crazy, messed up quantum computer. Indeed. Cracking self up is the funniest. Indeed. It's been about 5 years since I laughed at a joke of mine, so it's quite nice that I see people laughing in here today. It reminds me that I might actually still be current and relevant. Yep. Heard him laughing. Yep, I made the boy laugh. That's me. I'm happy now. So listen, today we're going to be talking about Jiggery and Jiggery. Yes, indeed. My very favourite Dr. McCairn. I will be over on his channel and we will be going out live on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. which also gets carried by TalkStream Live, which also you can get over on Paranormal Radio app. And if you're in the disco, you're more than welcome to kick back, chillax, share your content and your comments in the disco chat. Well, I try to give you the information that me and Kevin are going to present. We provide, you decide. It's the same rules that apply for all the KBS content that we produce. I don't know what's going on from one day to the next, so how on earth could I possibly attempt to tell you how to think or what's going on? All I can do is give you my best guesstimation at the best of times. And throughout everything that's been going on in the past 18 months or so, it would appear that the old gut feelings that I really rely on strongly more and more as we move into this not so brave new world. But that intuition and the angle we took with that biggest story in the world right now, it seems to have kept us on track. So today we'll get our latest updates from Dr. McCairn. All joking aside, love the guy, great guy, but what he brings to the table is very, very important indeed. And as much as we laugh and we joke, there's a very serious side to what Kevin is doing. And it's great to see that some of the work that he's been contributing to through the team of scientists known as Drastic is really now starting to make a difference. Okay. So we'll be getting Kevin to update us on all of that. We'll be getting Kevin to get into where he sees us going in the near and distant future as well. And I encourage you all to check out Dr. Kevin McCairn here on YouTube. He's got a couple of channels. He's also over on Twitter. He's one of the most sought after people on Twitter by the wokelings. They would love nothing more than to get rid of Dr. McCairn. Why? Because he makes them feel very uncomfortable using cold, hard truths. And if that isn't enough, you can get him over at the McCairndojo.com. Now, don't forget, I've got a website as well, kevbakershow.com. I really need to start putting more content on there. And I'm going to be thinking of more interactive ways that we can have some fun here on the stream. One thing I'm thinking of doing is when I set up the next, you know, I'm not happy with the graphics. There'll always be a next one coming, but I really want to set up one that we use for live streaming and we keep it. And I think I'm going to go along the theme of some kind of either nuclear bunker or underground base or Mulder's office or something where there's a wall. And then you can get your name on the wall. We'll need to figure out what you have to do to get your name on the wall. But once your name's on the wall, it's on the wall. You're on there for every stream. We'll figure something out. Just different quirky ways to keep things fun. And that's what it's all about over here. I'm really lucky. I was talking to Algorithm, Luna, and Jules last night over in Disco. And I was saying I'm kind of lucky in a way because I've got a couple of platforms. I've got here on YouTube, which I love doing. I've been doing for over 10 years. And I want to keep doing it, no matter how many times they shift the goalposts. And I'm lucky in the respect that Chris and Cherie Geo continue to give me TFR as a platform to have the Kev Baker show on, as well as all the other shows on there, where we can speak freely, a lot more freely than the fun and the games and the shenanigans that we like to have over here as a form of escapism. You know, we love the woo, we love to get into it. It's nice and non-divisive. It's where we can come together, we can chill out, we can relax. And if there's one thing I could tell you all to do in the world right now, is just to come together. Too many arguments, too much fighting, too much division. The only people that win out of division, it ain't any of us. It ain't any of us, and it's more important than ever that despite our differences, and they're being highlighted right now, and they're trying to play us off with them, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't get caught up in their game. Just remember to play your own game. So with that said, ladies and gents, let me come back into the chat room, see what people are saying, see if you are still interested, if I've lost you all by now. Probably lost you all by now. Where are we? Here we go. So we've got Bet in there. We have got Bernays, Beck, ZX, Jocelyn, Jungle Hip, Marty, Again, thank you, Beck, for the super chat. Much appreciated. We have got Jenny. We have got Bernays. I'm not sure if I said you, but we'll say you again, Bernays. Good to see you. And yes, I'm going to try and get Patrick Berge onto the show. That is something myself and Bernays have been talking about. Leave that one with me. I want to have you people hear about the level of shenanigans that happen online so that hopefully you can spot it quicker the next time it comes around, because it's always there, folks. It's always there. It's hard to know what's up from down and left from right and real from not. Fact and fiction, the lines are very, very blurred nowadays. Very blurred indeed. So with that said, I am going to take my leave and head on over, get Dr. McCairn, and get ready to go out live on the main show today. I hope you can all make it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking time out to hang out with yours truly. And don't forget, we'll be back late tonight as well. It's not just a potential. It's not just a maybe. It is KBS After Dark. And I think that's a renewal. Awesome. Yes, indeed. Yes, Bergie bet. I'm gonna try. Don't ask, don't get. That's one thing you learn when you start this podcasting thing. People are a whole lot more approachable than you sometimes think they are when you're just listening. So listen, I want to thank all of you, and there I go with that crazy salute again, right? That's the Speculation Island salute. I am about to go and don my fighting gear because we're going into the trenches. We're going to be taking on these Chinese princelings. Yes, indeed. And I'll be doing that with the help of the most based neuroscientist in the world, Dr. Kevin. You see, he's that controversial. I have to bleep his name out. I don't really, but it adds to the effect, right? That was pretty cool. Pretty different. Maybe not. Hey, listen, it is what it is. So on that note, let me remind you, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo.
Genetic engineering.
Come on, man.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
How dare you?